Hey guys, it's Jazzy Ray and I am back for another video. As you can read from the title, I'm about to tell y'all the difference between psychopath and sociopath. This has been a video I've been wanting to make for months. Actually, for years. And with that, I'm going to use two movies and two characters. ODog and Bishop from Juice and Meance Society. So if you have not seen those movies, first of all, you need to be smacked if you've never seen those movies. Second, I advise you watch them or else this video is not going to make any sense. But thank you to my subscribers, and because I don't even look at y'all as followers or anything like that or fans, I look at y'all as supporters. Shout out to you guys, shout out to Sweet Ma, shout out to Soul Energy, Soul Tribe. Just shout out to y'all, really, you know, for just being down with the Jazzy Ray gang, because it's just Jazzy Ray gang, you know. You know, we're doing big things this year, so just want to just put that out there, because again, I don't feel like I appreciate you guys enough. So most definitely shout out to you guys, and just keep it going. Now let's get started. So psychopath, sociopath. A lot of people feel that sociopath and psychopath are the same, and they are not. They are not the same thing whatsoever. Psychopaths, the way that my professor explained it to me, is psychopaths are born, sociopaths are created. What does that mean? Well, psychopaths are just born that way. It's just, that's who they are, okay? Whereas sociopaths had to learn a tactic of survival, and it's toxic, okay? They both lack empathy. Both of them lack empathy, but it's different, okay? Psychopaths are the type of people, they lack so much empathy, they don't even have any for themselves, okay? They literally do not care. Like, they don't, okay? Let's use a school shooting, okay? And let's say the shooter is a psychopath. That psychopath would not only off everybody in the school, but they will off themselves. Why? Because psychopaths are more calculated, and they feel like, well, I'm not going to serve this jail time, because a lot of times we will question, well, if they were going to off themselves anyway, why didn't they just do that? Why must they commit crimes like this before they do that? Because they lack empathy. They don't care, okay? And that's an easy way out, okay? It's calculated. It's all calculated, okay? Psychopaths are very charming, and it's kind of hard to detect one unless you know what a psychopath is, okay? They are the type, everything's calculated, okay? A sociopath, not calculated, survival, they want you to know that they did it, that a crime has been committed, okay? If that same school shooting happened and a sociopath did it, no, they're not going to off themselves. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to be proud of that, okay? Whereas a psychopath does not care. Sociopaths, they want the attention. Whereas psychopaths, it's like they want you to know, but it's like more strategic, okay? You just have to be smart to catch it. For example, now I'm not sure about, I was going to use Eric and Dylan, the Columbine shooting. I'm not sure if Dylan was a psychopath, but I know for a fact that Eric was a psychopath, okay? I know that for a fact, okay? And then as far as sociopath goes, I remember a school shooting in Chardon, Ohio. Oh, can't talk. Chardon, Ohio, okay? And it was this guy, I think his name was TJ, and he was getting bullied, typical, you know, bullying, you know, so he decided to bring a gun to the school and commit this crime. And on his court date, not only did he show up, he showed up with a t-shirt saying, "I'm a school shooter," or something like that. And basically his last words were, The same gun I used to kill your son or sons is the same gun the same hand I used to shoot your sons is the same hand yeah, okay. That's a sociopath. Period. Period, point blank. That's probably the best examples, real life examples I can give. Now let's go into ODog and Bishop. Okay? Bishop was a psychopath. ODog was a sociopath. What's the difference? I'm gonna give you some signs. Now I'm going to try to find clips. I'm not going to insert them in the video because I'm not trying to get copyrighted. But what I will do is the clips I find, I'm going to put them in the description so you can kind of see, yeah, the traits. All right, because both movies dealt with mental health, especially Juice. Like Juice dealt with mental health. Now again, if you have not seen these movies, I suggest you find them on Netflix or Hulu or something. Okay. I'm gonna give you a quick brief description of each movie, but again, you need to just find the movies and watch them. So Juice, not real juice, but Juice, the title stood for clout. It stood for power, money, clothes, cars, girls. I think I said that already. Guns. I meant to say guns. But basically the movie is about obtaining clout and power. That's pretty much what the movie was. You had 4 characters: Q, Raheem, Steele, Steele, and Bishop, played by Tupac Shakur. Okay. Now, all of them wanted juice. I don't think Q wanted the juice really. I think he only wanted the juice as far as DJing goes, because he already had a lot of clout. Okay. And I was watching Prim's Hood Cinema. Shout out to him, by the way. Make sure you check out his stuff. He does movie reviews. He's not a real critic, but he's pretty critical. He's an all-star. I love him. Watch him because he's hilarious, but he be on point. He be on point with the movie reviews, okay? And I believe Gulley Boy did a Juice review too. I know he did Meance Society, which I still have to watch. But shout out to both of them. You know, if you want if you're not trying to watch the full movie, you can watch them. But I was watching Prim, and when you think about it, Q had the most juice. Now, I don't condone it, but he was messing around with an older woman. He has DJing stuff going on. He didn't really need any juice. He had enough, okay? Raheem had juice because he was the leader. People didn't really mess with Raheem, but I think he wanted his girl back. He wanted his baby mama back, and he didn't have enough juice. So, you know, he wanted her back. So he wanted to get some money and stuff like that. I'm not sure about Steele. I think Steele wanted juice as far as girls, okay? But Bishop wanted power. Bishop wanted control. Bishop wanted money. Bishop wanted, he didn't have any juice, okay? He was getting picked on all the time. His family life was pretty messed up. He did not have any juice. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what makes Bishop a psychopath? Sign number 1, okay? Sign number 1, the fact that he was so calculated. When he killed Raheem, he had a plan on how to not get caught. What did he do? You know what? What did he tell Q and Steele? Remember? Okay, we're going to go back to the party. If anybody asks about Raheem, we don't know. We haven't seen him. Can't even keep up with it doing at the party. You think a sociopath would have came up with that? No. Remember, I told you sociopaths will brag. Bishop did not do that. Okay? Bishop had to cover his tracks, and using the party, using the DJ competition, that was their alibi, but he used that to his advantage. Okay, now they did get questioned by the police, but they still didn't know who did it, who killed Raheem and Quilez. Okay, he blamed it on Radames. Okay, so that was the first sign. That was very calculated. Okay, psychopaths don't want the attention that bad. They want to shift it so you can't catch them, whereas sociopaths are too sloppy to do that, and they want you to know that they did it. Okay, sign number two. Remember the infamous scene where he was like, you know what, I am crazy, but you know what, I don't give up about you, I don't give up about Steele, and I don't give up about Raheem, I don't even give up about myself. Let me tell you something about psychopaths. They really don't give up. They don't give a damn about themselves. They don't. They are willing to put themselves in dangerous situations every day because they have no empathy for anyone, not even themselves. So if they don't have any empathy for themselves, what makes you think they'll have it for you? Period. Sign number 3, which is kind of my biggest one. He showed up to the funeral. Now, I'm not saying a sociopath can't show up to the funeral, but usually sociopaths will come to the funeral and they show out because they want you to know, I killed your son or I killed your daughter. Okay. Not only did Bishop go to the funeral, but he came as a mourner to throw everybody off track, to make it look like he had nothing to do with it. That's what psychopaths do. Charm. He used charm. Charm and wit. Okay. That was my biggest one. That's when I realized, like, we watching it, I'm like, oh my God, he's a psychopath, you know. Sign number 4. Remember the scene where when both Q and Bishop confronted each other? And remember when Q was basically trying to beg him to stop doing what he's doing, and basically, you know, saying that we don't have to fight each other. What did Bishop say to him? Nope. This is your gun. You was coming to get me, just like you got everybody else. I was just man enough to take the gun from you. That's a little strategic, because he went around telling people that it was Q who killed everybody. You know, it was Q who killed everybody. Q did this, which means he was jealous of Q the whole time. But sociopaths would never do that. Sociopaths, they want the credit. They be like, yeah, I did it. I killed Raheem. I killed Rodmaz. I shot Steele. You know, they want the credit for everything. So, again, psychopaths are more crafty. They're more strategic. That way, you will never catch on that they did it. It's almost like they want you to find out that they want you to figure out that they did it, but they want you to jump through hula hoops to figure it out. Whereas sociopaths will just tell you that they did it. Okay? Sociopaths are literally dead people walking around. Okay? Now, let's get on to ODog for Menace to Society. Now, quick, brief description. That movie is similar to Juice, but it's a little more realistic than Juice. You got Kane. I'm not about to name all these characters, but you got Kane and you got ODog and the rest of them, okay? Because there's a whole bunch of characters. Basically, a bunch of teenagers. That movie was more about breaking cycles, and really, some cycles were broken in that movie, where new ones were created. How it all happens. It's kind of like a more extreme version of Boys in the Hood. That's what Menace to Society was about. It's a more extreme version. But ODog, I'm gonna show you signs. Like, how is ODog a sociopath? The first scene alone tells you that he's a sociopath. Because not only did he kill the 2 store clerks and took the video, he showed everybody the video. He's proud of that. He's proud that he killed those 2 store clerks. He didn't see anything wrong with it. It was like normal behavior. That's number 1, okay? Number 2. Now, I will say this. He did not throw Kane under the bus. He didn't really throw anybody under the bus, but let Kane double cross him, because sociopaths will drown you to save themselves, whereas psychopaths won't necessarily do that. They might do it, but they might not. If they do it, they're gonna cover it up, whereas sociopaths won't do it. You see how he was just showing the tape to everybody? Yeah, that's sociopaths do that. He was proud of that. He bragged about it. Okay, he didn't really, number two, he didn't have empathy for anybody. Like when what's his name, Harold got shot, and you remember Sharif was like, I'm not gonna leave him here, I'm not gonna leave him here. And you can see how ODog didn't really care. Like, stay with him then, you know. But in his defense, they had to get Kane to the hospital. I'll give him that. But he did care about Kane, but it was more like he wanted Kane to get in trouble. He wanted Kane to get in trouble. Okay, you know, Kane, I don't know. But another sign, remember he shot that crackhead and how he acted that was normal. The crackhead was trying to get some drugs from ODog, and he offered some cheeseburgers. Remember that? He offered some cheeseburgers, said something very lewd to ODog. ODog shot him, took the cheeseburgers, and act like nothing happened. Like, anybody want a hamburger? That's not a normal response, okay? Wouldn't you feel a little nervous or scared if you shot somebody, even if you just shot them? He did not care, man. He did not care. So he had a very survival of the fittest mindset. If Kane would have double crossed ODog, you already know ODog would have went after him and bragged. ODog was the type of person that will shoot somebody and then make a freaking diss track talking about it. That's what type of character ODog was. Whereas Bishop would have shot you, covered it up, showed up to your candlelight vigil, showed up to the funeral. ODog probably would have came to your funeral, but he would have like did some type of drive-by or something, some type of shootout at the funeral. Whereas Bishop would have came as a mourner to cover the tracks up. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. They both lack empathy, but it's like different. Okay, psychopaths will act like they have empathy. They're great actors. Okay, they're calculated. They will act like they have empathy. They will play on your emotions, but really they don't feel bad about it. They don't feel bad about playing you. Whereas sociopaths, they could try to play on your emotions, but they're gonna fail. They're the worst actors ever. My ex was a psychopath, and he played on my emotions. He wasn't as extreme as Bishop, but he was a psycho. Okay, and then my ex-friend was a sociopath. She tried to play on my emotions, but failed. Okay, it was just plainly obvious she didn't care. But that is the difference between the two. I hope I was able to explain that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Okay, I got y'all covered. Technically, I am a professional, so currently going to school to get my bachelor's so I can really educate y'all on mental health. But check both of those movies out. Maybe you're watching with a new set of eyes, you know, because I love rewatching movies and just noticing stuff that I didn't notice before. But I will see you guys later in the next video.